This time, baby, I'll be bulletproof. Listen to that on the way here. All right, we rolling here?
We are rolling.
All right.
Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.
This episode is sponsored by the Biggest Fan of Your Life podcast with Zach Owens.
Most of us will never be the famed achievers, experts, or celebrities, but that doesn't mean our lives are any less interesting, amazing, or inspiring.
In each episode, Zach sits down with an average Joe or Josephine, and they share their experiences, knowledge, and stories.
They may not have a following or world-renowned status, but they have fascinating lives that Zach is a fan of, and he thinks you should be too.
So be the most encouraged person in the room today and subscribe to the Biggest Fan of Your Life podcast with Zach Owens, available on the iTunes podcast app, Podbean, and Spotify.
All right, we are rolling. Rolling.
Keep rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Right. Get them up.
I was going more Kid Rock.
There's a rollin' song by Kid Rock.
Keep rolling. Keep rolling. That's all I know.
I don't know that one.
No?
I'm not a big Kid Rock fan.
Well, this was...
Believe it or not.
That is from my my wrestling roots. That was the Undertaker's entrance theme. When
was it?
Not the Dead Man.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Kid Rock.
Good old Kid Rock. What's that one? It's like a weird named song. Starts with a B.
Oh.
Boom Chaka Waka or something.
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
Off to a bad start talking about Kid Rock, yes. I feel. It's put me in a bad mood. This is You're My Friend and I Trust You. It's a podcast where all we talk about is Kid Rock.
Yes, it's a Kid Rock podcast.
Kid Rock cast.
My name is Kid Rock.
And now he's like 60.
Yeah.
But he's committed to the Kid Rock name, so he can't change it.
I feel like when I think of Kid Rock, like I just automatically, my nose starts smelling like a mixture of cigarettes, menthol cigarettes.
Yeah, but stale.
And wintergreen chew.
Mm-hmm. And like, I picture long, bad hair with a bandana and trailer parks.
Yes.
That's what I think of when I think of Kid Rock.
So for our listeners who are Kid Rock fans, just know we kind of judge you.
Yeah. And we just assume that you're listening to this. Wow, smoking menthol cigarettes and also chewing at the same time.
Yes.
On the front porch of your trailer.
And the person who doesn't spit, they just swallow.
They gut it?
Yeah.
Dude, I worked at... So, actually, everybody should know this that listens to the podcast all around the world. We have listeners all around the world.
Brian?
I looked at our statistics, got a couple downloads from Europe, none in Russia, surprisingly. I'm hoping for those Russian downloads.
I think we're blocked.
Oh, maybe. China, none in China. We're probably blocked in China. Yeah. But Smuckers. You know Smuckers, they make the jams and jellies, and they own, like, everything. Like, Jif.
Dog food, Purina.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, walk into Walmart and go to the food section, half of it's owned by Smuckers. Mm-hmm. But the main Smuckers plant is in Orville, which is 15 minutes away from where I live. And I used to work there when I was... in a summer in high school. I worked there through a subcontractor. So I technically wasn't old enough to be working there, but I got hired at this cleaning company. And then we got hired as a subcontractor into Smuckers on their, like in one of their new plants. And our job was to take boxes of jams and jellies that wasn't really jams and jellies. It was just water because they were testing the equipment. But they would run it down. It would put them in a cardboard box and saran wrap them. Like all these machines would do that. It would come down the line. We'd pull them off the line and stack them on a pallet. And that was our job because the machine that stacked it, called the palletizer, wasn't up and running yet. So there was a machine that did the same job as 6 people were doing. But when I worked at Smucker's, one of the dudes that I worked with chewed, and that was a huge no-no because it's like a food place. Mm-hmm. And he just gutted it all day long.
Ugh.
Like, how did you do that?
That's how, when I worked at Dometic, my last company.
Yeah.
It was a tobacco-free place. And so I, like, it was kind of a balance because the guys who chewed, when they went tobacco-free, they were they would watch for it. And so they stopped. But then they all got super, super, like, grumpy and mean. Mm-hmm. And so, so then they started like hiding it, like they would just gut it, or they would spit in the trash cans, which that was really gross.
Yeah,
because part of my job, like as a material handler, like whenever I wasn't busy, like I would just grab trash, like empty the trash.
Gotcha.
And so, like I would touch it all the time and just want to like puke.
Gross.
And then when you talk to them, they have that breath.
Yeah,
because like. Ugh.
Disgusting.
I tried it one time and it was not for me.
Never chewed.
Don't.
I've never chewed in my life.
It's pretty gross.
I've just never had that desire.
Like what makes you, like I feel like that's one of those things that the only thing that like can make you do it is because you think it's cool.
Right.
Because like,
because it's like an aesthetic thing of like, oh, I'm a redneck country boy. I gotta get a big old dip in.
Yeah, yeah. Like seriously, because it's disgusting.
Yeah,
and like,
I know Skull puts fiberglass in theirs.
Yeah,
like little tiny microscopic shards of fiberglass, so it like puts like little microscopic cuts on your lip, so it absorbs into your bloodstream quicker.
Which is like just think about that.
Yeah, like is that enough to make you stop?
Right?
No.
A buddy of mine, he dipped all through high school, and the only thing that got him to quit was one day a big chunk of his gum just fell off.
Oh, gross!
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
He's like, oh boy, I should be done.
That's very gross.
That's why I just don't get it. Like, I was actually on Twitter the other day. This is kind of in the same vein, but you know how like you'll just randomly see like a viral tweet that someone retweeted. Mm-hmm. So this one was this girl who it was an X-ray of her lungs. Sorry, and she was saying how she started vaping a year ago, and yesterday got diagnosed with popcorn lung.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Causes mold.
Isn't it? It's so gross.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. I don't know.
I understand, like, cigarettes. I've always loved the smell of cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. But vaping, I've never really got. I've hit a couple vape pens. I've never owned a vape pen or anything. Mm-hmm. But, like, I guess it's fun to, like, just blow a big fat cloud. You know what I mean? Vape life, vape nation.
Yeah.
But
get them smoke rings.
The smoke rings, the little volcano thing. Or the whirlwind thing.
Yeah.
Google vape tricks if you want to just be thoroughly impressed by what some people can do. But other than that, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
You're throwing money into what?
Moldy lungs.
Moldy lungs. Ugh. What's the cure for popcorn lung?
I think she had posted a little bit more about it, and I think in her case, she said like it's something she's gonna have to live with. But basically, like the end game for someone with like who continues or it gets worse is lung transplant.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What does it do? Like, is it painful? Is it like shortness of breath? Like you can't draw in like a full breath?
Yeah. It just like your lungs, I think it starts kind of shutting down. So yeah, they're not as efficient and like you can't breathe all the way in.
And is it called popcorn? I'm kind of uneducated on this. Is it called popcorn lung because like little things grow on the inside, or is it called popcorn lung because when you breathe in, you hear like a pop, 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 pop in your lungs?
I think it's more so because like little things grow. Okay. I think, but I don't know about.
I would prefer the pop, 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 pop. I think that'd be kind of funny, but also horrible at the same time.
Right. Yeah. So kids, just don't start.
You know what I really love though is those old cigarette ads from like the 50s and 60s. 9 out of 10 doctors prefer Camels.
Right. Or get prescribed cocaine.
Yeah.
Or heroin.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what's nuts.
That's what Coca-Cola used to be. Yeah. That's where Coke comes from because it was made from a Coke plant that cocaine comes from. And it was a tonic. It was like a medicine.
What's funny is like, what are we doing now that's going to be the same?
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
You know?
Obviously vaping.
Yeah, vaping.
People still smoke. People still chew.
Yeah. Although I will, like, there's studies that now that, like, historically we are in such a low rate of, like, smokers. Like, it's really declining. Whether that's because of health campaigns or what. But,
I don't know.
Or just public shame. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
So, yeah. But
what is the graph, though, for smoking's going down, but is vaping going up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, because vaping's a safe alternative.
Right. Popcorn lung's not that bad.
No.
Popcorn lung versus cancer. I'll take popcorn lung.
Yeah. Lung transplant.
It sounds fun. Cancer sounds bad.
Yeah.
Popcorn lung, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I too wonder, what are we doing right now?
I think
10, 20 years from now, people are going to be like, what in the world?
just my hypothetical theory. I think that refined sugar is going to be a big thing. Like we're already seeing little pieces here and there. Like they say that actually fuels like cancer cells. Like it's basically their food is refined sugar. And so not that the sugar-free chemicals are that much better for you. But that's why I try to avoid things that I know have like refined sugar in.
Yeah.
I still have a pop every now and then, but if you just eat like if you just buy like your raw foods and you know what's in them, that's the best thing you can do. But that's expensive, which is really dumb if you think about it.
Yeah.
Why is it more expensive to have crap added in
Right.
than to just give me a chicken breast?
Yeah.
Kill the chicken, cut it off.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That should be so much cheaper. I watched, it might have been a Vice documentary.
I love those.
It wasn't anything hard hitting.
Yeah.
It was this dude, I think he's Japanese, like came over from Japan to America. He lives in New York City, and he owns a sushi restaurant that only has 8 chairs. And they're only open like a certain amount of hours a day. So they, like realistically, they're only getting in 16 people in a day. But he still works like a 16 or 17 hour day almost every single day because of the prep that goes into it. And he's like a master sushi chef. Try saying that fast. He's a
sushi chef.
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 Torture our listeners.
Our eye contact. Ever since Zacho mentioned our eye contact,
I've known about it this whole time.
like just right then, we were like staring at each other.
Sushi chef.
Sushi chef.
Sushi chef.
Sushi chef. Sorry.
I'm completely fine with the eye contact.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
It just I'm so much more aware of it now.
Oh, I was always aware of it and
Looked forward to it.
look forward to it. Yeah, a big part of a big highlight of my week. But he buys all of his ingredients like fresh the day of, all his fish. All like everything is just like every single step of the process is like a master craftsman's step, like sharpening his knives. It's like a whole ritual that's done like once every 2 days or so.
Yeah.
And like just the amount of detail and time he just puts into even that. Because he says that's what it all starts with is a sharp knife. And everything, like his whole team, like they have multiple team meetings a day about like what they're going to cook that day, what the specials are going to be, how they're going to do it, how they're going to work as a team to achieve those things. It's very interesting. But apparently he makes bank. Right. I need to look into it to see how much a plate is.
Yeah.
And it's like he's serving like just a little tiny, teeny amount of whatever he's making.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like I like sushi, but in order to, I can't just have sushi as a meal.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would spend $80
to fill up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead I spend like $13 on the little sushi roll and then an appetizer or like an entree.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it would be interesting to see how much that was, because if he's only serving however many people you said he serves.
Yeah, like 16 people. And I don't even think he's open like every day of the week. Wow. I think he's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wow.
Which I was like, how is he still in business? Like, it has to be so crazy expensive to eat there.
And I feel like that's where he's selling exclusivity. Exclusivity? Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's selling that.
Yeah.
Because like people are like, oh, this is like hard to get into. Like it's like status, you know?
Which the whole Fire Festival thing
exactly
just showed us how much people are willing to pay.
Did you watch that documentary?
I didn't. I need to. Did you watch
yes,
it? I should have watched it so we could have talked about it, but I had a friend tell me literally every detail of it.
You should watch it.
I feel like I could keep up with you.
And then we can discuss it in the next episode.
Okay.
Because like it's fake. It has to be fake. You're watching it thinking, there's no way this is real. Like it was so good that my wife, who really isn't into like that kind of documentary, like got sucked in and was watching it with me. Like, what the heck?
Okay. I'll go home and watch it.
But yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's like that though. The status that the sushi chef is selling.
Yeah. Yeah. And like a part of it is too, like he cooks everything or prepares everything in front of you.
Yeah.
So like he's making it look nice in front of you.
It's like an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I don't know, let's say it's $800 a plate. Is that something you would pay for? Like it's your 30th anniversary with Allie and you're in New York and would you drop $1,600?
I would probably not
for a meal.
It would be really hard for me to do.
Do you think she would appreciate that?
No.
Yeah.
She would hate that.
Yeah.
She'd be more mad at me for dropping that much money on a meal, aside from the fact that she can't stand sushi. But
that's something that I kind of appreciate about my girlfriend, Emily.
Yeah.
Is like I got her flowers for Valentine's Day, and even though I hate Valentine's Day and it's a stupid made up holiday and it's I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to go off on it. I don't want this episode to turn into me bashing Valentine's Day for how stupid it is and how pointless it is. But I got her flowers. She appreciated that. And she was home this past weekend from her internship. And like Monday was like our day. And we had planned on going to Canton and seeing a movie and getting Steak and Shake, because we used to do that. And then she was like, on Monday, she was like, I just want to chill and watch Netflix, play Battleship, maybe a little bit of euchre with my parents. And it turned into just like a lazy day, but it was the best thing ever. So I appreciate that she's willing to, or not willing, but she's just more of like, I just want to spend time. It doesn't have to be like a $1,600 day.
Right.
So, but I would like to experience that amount of high class.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's no way I could afford it.
Yeah, same. My dad got treated a little bit to some high class stuff this past week.
Really?
Yeah, Thursday he went to a Cavs game. A company that his company had done business with, two of their dudes took my dad and another guy out to a Cavs game. He was sitting like behind the backboard, a little bit to the left, 6 rows back.
Wow.
And then they got to go to like a VIP area where they had like gourmet food and everything was free. Everything was paid for. So all this gourmet food, a bar, open bar with like fancy cocktails. And then at halftime, they brought out desserts, like fancy desserts.
I can't picture your dad like a fancy cocktail kind of guy.
He loves old fashions. I got him hooked on old fashions.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, that leather vest that I got him, I know he wore that. So it's like all these rich people hanging out in the VIP area. My dad in his cowboy hat, boots, and his leather vest and flannel.
Yes.
Be like, can I get a Miller High Life? We're living now.
Oh, man. That's cool, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the fanciest thing you've ever done?
Oh, shoot, man. I don't even know. Not a lot. Thank you for opening that window. It's getting toasty in here. I haven't done a lot of fancy stuff. I don't know. What's the fanciest thing you've done? I'll try to think of it as you talk.
Well, there's like the fake fancy. Mm-hmm. Like I've gone on quite a few cruises, and so like they have like the elegant night, which I mean it was very nice, but like it's different. I wouldn't consider that like high class fancy.
Yeah.
But I'm not really like a high class fancy kind of guy.
You're wearing a Billy Ray Cyrus 1990 tour T-shirt right now.
No shame. But so probably the fanciest thing I've done, I don't know, rode in a limo to homecoming one time. In prom. I don't
even think I've done anything that fancy.
No.
I mean, I guess a wedding would be like the fanciest thing I've done. I was in my friend's wedding, like 5 months ago or so. I was a bridesman, and I got to dress up all fancy and not in a dress, but
got all pretty.
I got all prettied up, all dolled up. That was nice. It was in like a really like super old winery that they rent out and do events at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was pretty fancy. Maybe I've just repressed any fancy memories from my head.
That could be.
Because I just don't fit into those scenarios.
We're both kind of that way.
I'm not a schmoozer. Although I want to get into like one of those fancy dinners where you're sitting at a round table with like millionaires and billionaires and you're schmoozing. I want to schmooze.
That's fair.
The stock markets, right? Up and down. What can you do? Making money either way.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.
So, this is changing topics a little bit, but
Let's do it.
last weekend, you, me, and my wife saw Need to Breathe live, and that was your first time
seeing Need to Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After how many years of...
Oh, we've been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
And I had a missed opportunity back when I was like 15.
That was...
You and I traveled to Cincinnati, and then...
I went and saw them.
You went and saw them without me.
It was different.
It was okay.
Because...
It's fine. I'm not bitter about it.
I was given 2 tickets because me and Chapman worked on his sister's house. So that was her form of paying us. And it was when they were on the Taylor Swift tour.
So it was Need to Breathe opening for Taylor Swift. Yeah.
And Hunter Hayes
but
opened for them.
Let's be honest, you were just as excited to see Taylor Swift as you were.
At that time, yes.
And still are.
Well, her new stuff, I just don't care for.
I think it's pretty solid, dude.
So, I don't know why.
The 19-something album, what is it?
1970,
85 or 85 maybe? I don't know. That album's really good.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. Just listening to her makes me uncomfortable now. I can't explain it.
I feel like she's fabricating drama to sing about.
Probably.
I bet she would be a great like relationship person, but she doesn't want to be.
For the sake of art.
For the sake of art.
So back to the story.
Yes.
What was your experience?
It was really great. They're on their acoustic tour right now. So it was very like laid back and chill. And for like my anxiety, I loved that. That was perfect for me because we got to sit down. Mm-hmm. The theater was really old, built in 1926, and like it looked amazing. And we had balcony seats, so we were just looking down. It was very chill and nice. And like I wasn't really freaking out anxiety-wise, social anxiety-wise, very much. But they did everything kind of chill, kind of laid back, but then they did State I'm In, kind of pumped up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that was just like the vibes that was giving off was like everybody was getting into it, and it made me really want to see them on a non-acoustic tour.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've seen videos of them live, and I know that they can bring it. Mm-hmm. And even just seeing them acoustic, being in the same room as that level of talent is incredible. Mm-hmm. Like when their lead singer Bear started singing, it was like, holy crap. Like I've heard him live before. I've heard live albums. Yeah. I know that he's good, but when you're watching it right in front of you happen and he just starts singing, you're like, holy crap, he's note for note. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. But overall, really great experience. Yeah. I was late in getting to your house. I'd like to apologize formally on the podcast. I forgot my ticket. I had to run back home, and we were going to go get something to eat, like at a sit down, and it was going to be really nice, and I feel like I missed out on an opportunity. But we got Chipotle instead, and it was good, but I could tell that you guys were disappointed with me.
It's all good. We'll move on. But no, I was excited. Like I've seen him before live, and I know how much like we both really enjoy their music, and how much like we were talking, we can go album by album, and it's like we have such significant life moments with each album and each song. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I was so excited for you to like actually see them live.
Yeah.
It was flaming hot in there.
It was super hot.
Oh,
I wore a flannel
goodness.
too. I messed up.
Yeah. I actually wore this shirt.
You haven't washed it since?
No, I can't, right?
Since you got it. You haven't washed it. I can smell it from here.
But I was wearing like a t-shirt, sweatshirt.
Yeah, like a sweatshirt with the sleeves cut off.
But I had to take that off. It was super hot.
Yeah.
The opening act, Matt Mason?
Yeah, Matt Mason.
I've never really heard of him. And we were talking. I still have yet to do this, but like looking him up, recorded because he was just him and the acoustic guitar.
He could sing though.
Yeah, I was telling Allie, like it's always hard, especially from my experience, sitting there not knowing who he was originally, never hearing his music,
right?
And so then when you're solo with just an acoustic guitar, it's like you're at a disadvantage already because one, like the mix wasn't all that great, so I couldn't really understand what he was singing. Yeah. But then since I couldn't understand the words, it's just you can only do so much on an acoustic guitar. Yeah. And like he did a great job.
Yeah.
But so like with a full band, you can kind of rely more on dynamics to carry a new listener. But like when lyrics are the sole focus and you can't hear them.
Right. That's a little bit.
But yeah, he was pretty solid. Just wish I could hear him.
I think that like you said, I think that's a tough thing to do as an opening act. Especially like, I wonder how many people in the crowd even knew who he was. A lot of older people there, which surprised me.
It was so surprising. Like people with canes.
But it makes sense because like my dad's really into Need to Breathe. He's an older gentleman. Yeah. So, but not knowing who he was and then just being like his voice in an acoustic, I feel like he had to win over the crowd. And I observed him doing that. First couple songs, people were talking, and he was like kind of performing over the
Yeah.
like the light talking. And by the end, I think he had won pretty much everybody over. Because he was a heck of a really good singer.
Yeah.
And he had towards the middle, I think his mix got a little bit better, and I could understand him. Start picking out what he was saying, and he's a really good lyricist as well. What surprised me about him was, and if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know that I have absolutely zero problem with profanity. I myself curse quite often. I just don't do it on this podcast. But he used profanity, and opening for Need to Breathe. I don't know. I don't think that hurt Need to Breathe in any way, but I think that was an interesting choice on their part, knowing their demographic.
Right.
Especially seeing their demographic, which was, I would say, primarily older people at this concert, at least.
At least up in the balcony.
Yeah, up in the balcony, at least. I couldn't tell you down on the floor because we couldn't really see, but like there were people our age, a fair amount, but then like a lot of older people, like moms and dads and stuff. And I feel like Need to Breathe being who they are, like when he started cursing, I was like, oh man, how many people just flipped out in their minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody got up or caused a tantrum, but that was interesting to me.
Yeah. Overall, great show. If you are a slight Need to Breathe fan and have ever debated going to see them, do it.
And it will turn you into a massive Need to Breathe fan.
Yes, it will.
Even acoustic. Like they had full drums. They had a dude on pedal steel, and occasionally he would hop on electric. It was still very, very full.
Yeah. Very dynamic.
Yeah, very dynamic. It still was really, really, really great. Really solid.
Yeah.
So I think that was their second show of the acoustic tour.
Which I also loved.
Oh, yeah, because they were making mistakes.
Yeah.
Which I only heard one musical mistake.
Yeah.
Was when Bo hit that wrong note on The Outsiders, on the banjo. That was it. That's all I remember.
There was a couple times when he forgot lyrics, but...
I thought he was just doing like the pull away from the mic to let the crowd sing.
or
me.
He would sing the same like line.
Oh, I did notice that. Yeah.
But I loved in those like settings, they did a good balance of like telling some stories, but also like they got in a lot of music. Yeah. Which I always appreciate. They always always try to do that. But one of the cooler, for me anyway, was when before they sang their song "Be Here Long," there was a lady in the audience who, I don't know, they must have messaged them or something.
I think they got like a VIP package where because he said that they were talking to them before the show.
Yeah, so she got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't matter which one, but I mean it does. But
I think stage 3 because 4 is really bad.
I thought you said 4.
Could be wrong.
Anyway, she had surgery 2 weeks before, and he said the first thing that she said when she came to was, "Can I still go to the concert?"
Yeah,
and then
people cheered for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and then they went into their song "Be Here Long," which is all about losing a loved one. Yeah, and how we don't get to be here long. So cherish the moments that you have. And
she was down on the floor. I wish I could have seen her. Yeah. I wonder if she was crying.
Yeah.
I was nearly crying.
I was welling up. I was like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Like either one of you on either side of me. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 would see again. But they're on their acoustic tour right now. If they're coming to your city, look it up. Check them out. Ours was sold out. Yeah. But I think, like, I follow them on Twitter, and the one after that was in St. Louis, and they weren't sold out. Yeah. They had a couple tickets left, so if you can get a ticket, go see them.
Sorry, Emily, you didn't get to go.
I was really hoping you wouldn't say anything. Suck. All right, so I'm a bad boyfriend, and when we booked these tickets, Emily apparently had told me she was going to be back in town, but I'm horrible at remembering dates, and I didn't write it down, and I thought, okay, we're good. She's not going to be here this weekend, so we got 3 tickets, you, me, and Allie, your wife. I didn't get Emily a ticket, then it was a big thing, and I felt really bad and horrible, but I'd already bought the ticket, so I wanted to go, and
Yeah.
I'm a horrible person. I apologized many times.
Yeah.
And I'll apologize again in a public setting because I'm a big man. Emily, I'm very sorry that I let you down.
As a person not directly in the situation, I found it pretty funny.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
But I also feel for you
Thanks.
because I am also terrible with dates. But now I have a shared calendar with my wife on my phone.
Ah, nice.
That's the key.
That's the way to go.
Yep. Because you're just like, oh, yeah, no, this is happening. So
It's actually a good idea. I should probably get one of those going with Emily. I bought a big, it's basically like a massive sticker that's also a dry erase board, but it's a calendar. You stick it up on your wall because I'm getting all these like random projects and I got to keep track of them from my freelancing jobs. So it's up on my wall and I got my stuff written down of like when stuff is due and like I keep track of my hours and all that stuff. So I like that because I've never been a calendar guy or like a planning sort of guy.
yeah.
But for work stuff, it helps me not stress.
Right.
Because before I got it, I was finding myself like, what do I have due today or this week that I need to get going on?
Yeah. You're like frantically searching emails.
Right.
Yeah.
Like going back like weeks and like, oh no. So now I'm a planned person
Yeah.
as far as work goes. As far as life goes,
Still got to keep it loose.
no plans.
Yeah.
No plans. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out and keep on trucking.
A key motto in life.
Breathe in, breathe out, keep on trucking.
Yep. So this happened to me last night. And the last couple nights I haven't slept well, just stuff going on. But last night, and technically this morning, I think we went to bed probably 10:30 or so. But I couldn't fall asleep. So I was tossing and turning, would kind of doze off and suddenly just wake up. One of those nights. Went out to the couch, watched Netflix for a little while, came back. And Anyway, have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
No. Did you?
Twice.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did you see anything?
Well,
Or
no.
hear anything?
I heard weird stuff, and like, because like I was in and out, and I remember it probably didn't help that I had like sleep sounds. I put headphones in, and like on Spotify you can like look up like sleep sounds, like
What
different
is-
pads and rain, like ambient stuff.
Okay, gotcha. Like a rainforest.
Yeah, different things.
Okay.
And so I don't really know what I was listening to at that moment because I was awake but not awake.
Sure.
But it happened twice where suddenly I started like hearing like weird. It almost sounded like a freight train, kind of like that kind of like pressure and intensity. And I remember I could not move to say I was awake. I was really trying to like get myself to wake up, and like I remember trying to move my legs, couldn't do anything. And finally like I got out of it. And I don't know why, but like I felt like I went right back into it. Like I was able to move and then fell back asleep, but still awake. And like obviously like my heart rate shot up.
Yeah.
And so then when I got out the second time, I was like trying to breathe deep. I was super sweaty.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake at 4:00 in the morning. I was like I was trying to calm myself down. And so got on my phone, was scrolling through Twitter, and I was just like, I'm just gonna search sleep paralysis on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, which I don't know if you ever done that or not, because I didn't know about like people would see things.
Yeah. Yep.
And so then like I saw like different memes and stuff of like what people see.
Yeah.
Freaked the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And so then I quickly got off Twitter and I had to turn the office on to
Calm yourself down.
calm myself down like a little kid. But
It's crazy though, dude.
Yeah.
People see horrible stuff.
Yeah,
Like
like-
demons and stuff. Emily's sister, Mandy, she has sleep paralysis sometimes. And she said that she had it and like rolled onto her side, like woke up in the night, rolled onto her side and all of a sudden just couldn't move. And then like something behind her was talking to her. Like a demon was talking to her and saying stuff to her. She didn't tell me what he was saying, but she said it was really freaky. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
yeah. So I'm thankful like nothing like that happened. It was just like a weird noises and the stress of not being able to move.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I've only looked into like what happens when you get sleep paralysis. I've never looked into the cures
yeah.
or anything.
Yeah, and I don't know what. Like it's happened kind of before where like I'm waking up and like it takes me a second to like be able to move.
Yeah.
But this one was way different, and I'm sure for me it's probably stress related. But
Yeah. I've had like where I'll wake up, like be half awake and think like, okay, I need to see what time it is to see if I need to get out of bed, like if I hadn't set an alarm. And like in my mind, like I'm half dreaming. So I dream of like looking at my phone and seeing it's like, oh, it's only 7 a.m. And like I'll kind of like go back and then I'll wake up like a couple seconds later, like look at my phone again. Oh, it's only 7 a.m. Go back. Do like 3 more times and then look at it and it's 9 o'clock. Like actually look at it. But I've been dreaming that I looked at my phone.
yep.
But I've been awake. I was awake while that happened. So that sort of stuff happens to me a lot.
Do you ever have like where you dream that you get up, you've taken a shower, like you're starting your day?
No, never
No.
to that level.
Oh, it's the most like sometimes it's the most frustrating thing where it usually happens to me if I snooze an alarm and then like fall back asleep is when I dream. But like I'll dream that I'm up, got dressed already, whatever, and then also my alarm goes back off and I'm like super confused.
Yeah. I gotta do it all I can.
Yeah, exactly. like it's such a huge thing. Like it sounds really dumb. It's such like a chore for me to actually get up in the morning.
Oh, me too, dude.
Because I hate getting up.
Yeah, it's the worst.
So
I think like a key to waking up is don't hit snooze, and you kind of just gotta train your body. Like that very first alarm, you just gotta get rolling.
Yeah.
But sometimes that bed's just so darn
I
comfy.
know. I made the mistake of making mine too comfortable
Yeah, you got a nice old memory foam.
with like a down comforter.
Yeah.
Like you like curl up in and like it's nice and cool in our room, and we just got a new humidifier. So it's winter time here, and so normally our house is super dry. But like turn on the humidifier and the fan at night.
Yep.
And so it feels like it's summertime, like with the air conditioner going on in there. And so you're like,
Get a little hum going.
yeah. And then for me, my wife, my wife gets up before me for work. Like she's got to leave before I do. And so she gets up, and then like I can roll over to her side and it's nice and warm.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I recently got a Fitbit,
I see that. I see that on you.
and it's kind of cool. Like they do silent alarms, and so you can set it for in the morning. It'll vibrate.
That'll wake you up?
Well,
I don't think that would wake me up.
yeah, it wakes my wife up on hers, but for me, the first time I tried it, I didn't know what was going on. I just felt something on my wrist. And so I remember waking up like swatting at my wrist because I wasn't sure what's on me, you know?
Yeah.
So now I don't think I really set one anymore. I just still use my phone. But it's kind of cool because like it'll track your sleep as much as like it can, like with your heart rate. And so last night it was interesting because when I woke up from the sleep paralysis, you can see where my heart rate jumped, like skyrocketed. But
That's crazy.
yeah.
One of our friends, Corey, I just helped him move yesterday, but his old apartment, I would go over there, we'd have dinner and play video games and stuff. But it was kind of like a studio apartment, like just all kind of open. So his bed was in the same room as the TV. And I started getting in the habit of, like, if he would go to the bathroom, I would put stuff in his bed. Like, I put his pots and pans in his bed one time. The other night, I put, like, a big handful of books under his blanket, and then I put one inside of his pillowcase. So, I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up, just other than it's funny, and I like doing that. I like being a sometimes.
That's funny.
Just pranking people. Putting your pots and pans in your bed. I think they were dirty, too.
Oh, that's a bummer. I would actually been really mad.
Sometimes I'm the worst. I had this question occur to me last night as I was taking a shower. So, Christian movies, we can all agree they're the worst. Mm-hmm. They're the worst.
Yes.
If you had to watch one Christian movie once a week for the rest of your life, what Christian movie would it be?
I feel like I know yours.
What do you think mine is?
Facing the Giants.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt.
Got to get your cry in each week.
Oh, yeah. Don't quit. Don't quit. Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone. My brother-in-law, I was telling him about that.
Yeah.
Like how that was my favorite scene out of that movie, the death crawl scene. If you haven't seen Facing the Giants, this dude, it's a football coach, but he has one of his players get on another player's back, and the dude's blindfolded, and he's like not on his hands and knees, but like on his hands and feet, and he's crawling, and he has to go 50 yards. And then the coach is like, don't quit, keep going. He's like, I can't do it, coach. He's like, keep going. Then he makes it all the way to the end zone. And I was saying how every time I watch that scene, it gets me and I cry and it brings me down. And my brother-in-law was like, yeah, it's really not that hard.
Bear crawl?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, but he's got a dude on his back. He's like, yeah, it's not as difficult as you think it is.
Totally shattered your entire universe.
Yeah. It's like, don't you wreck this for me, Josiah.
For me, I might choose a loophole here.
You gonna say Blue Like Jazz? That's my number 2.
Blue Like Jazz, or if that's too much of a loophole,
Okay. I don't think so.
How to Save a Life.
That was my number 3.
Yep. Or Passion of the Christ.
Oh, okay. All right. If we're talking Passion of the Christ, that's a massive loophole.
But I feel like I'm already
I would
pushing
choose that one over everything.
Pushing the bounds of your original question.
Right. I'm talking like stuff that would be on PureFlix. Yeah.
Man.
So How to Save a Life, Blue Like Jazz, not on there. But if you have not seen Blue Like Jazz, I would read the book.
Yeah,
the book is astounding.
Yeah. Oh man, I see the part of it is like,
if you choose something ironically, like thinking that, like, I'm going to choose this so I can make fun of it. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, you have to watch it once a week.
I know
that's
what's hard.
So it's going to be not funny after a while.
I don't know. Maybe War Room. If I had to,
I haven't seen that one. I was just so done with Christian movies at that time that came out.
I mean, it's not great.
And I worked at the bookstore at the time, so people were coming in. Have you seen War Room? I was like, no, I've not seen War Room. Oh, you need to see War Room. And I'm like, that makes me not want to see it even more.
And like, I don't want to choose a God's Not Dead movie because
of course not.
The title alone gives me angst.
And you don't want to have to
Not that I'm saying God is not dead, but
Hot take.
the Newsboys ruined it for me.
Yeah, you don't want to have to hear the Newsboys on the soundtrack
Right.
once a week.
Or see them in the movie.
Are they in the movie? Oh, that's right,
They're
they
at least
are.
the second one.
Yeah,
It
they
might
go to
be
the concert.
first or
in the
second
first one, they go to the concert.
Yeah.
Also, Duck Dynasty's in the first one.
Yeah, which also, like, why do we have to throw,
Why do we have to include all these people?
like, they're, like, even a hint of Christian on them.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be in this movie.
Right. It's so stupid.
Tim Tebow is producing a new movie.
What's it called?
I don't remember. And then there's the
How come he's allowed to kneel and Kaepernick's not? Hot take.
hot take. Hey, he's a white guy, so
Oh, that's true.
yeah. There's a new movie coming out, the Planned Parenthood movie.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. We should go see that and just trash it. We should go see it and talk about it on the podcast.
yeah, let's do it.
Talk about how bad it is.
Or maybe we'll be blown away.
No.
You gotta keep an open mind.
I will keep an open mind, but I guarantee you I will walk out of that movie pissed off.
Yeah. Well, my problem is like we're making movies to reinforce any like Christian belief.
Right.
So
Which you can say that like political parties do that.
yeah,
Like there's like left wing agenda movies or like I think there's a whole thing about Avatar
yeah,
being like all about climate change and
yeah,
all that, which that's fine to me because it's very subtle. If it is there, it's very subtle and it's not like the main focus of the movie. But with Christian movies, the problem is that they're pushing that agenda so hard to the point where everything in the movie is unrealistic. Like prayer working in your favor every single time,
right,
is not true at all. Sometimes the answer is no.
yep,
Sometimes people don't come to Christ.
yep, and it's about like there's a close friend of mine that like one of the things that really is hard for them as a couple is like seeing. I think it's actually Facing the Giants. Where is there a storyline where the husband and wife are trying to get pregnant?
Yeah.
Like those instances. That's a very common problem now, and a lot of times it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And like the prayer fixes everything.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you should definitely be praying about it. And like it can fix the mourning that you have about that. It can fix like a broken heart. But sometimes like, you know, that's just going to be something that you're not going to be able to do.
Right.
And no Christian movie portrays that.
Right.
Because I think there's a fear that if they portray what really happens, it will diminish the power of God.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. Like they can, like I said, they can take the storyline in ways of healing because of it. Like it isn't necessarily that aspect in general, like with the pregnancy stuff, but anything, losing somebody, someone's sick, you pray for them. Sometimes they're not going to get better.
Yeah.
And, but it's everything else that you learn in that process and learning how to rely on God through that for healing, for comfort, for peace, that it always goes right to a miracle.
Right.
Or a miracle of healing when, you know, maybe it's a miracle of healing of the person who's praying.
Yeah. The same people that made Facing the Giants, Fireproof, like all those.
I forgot about Fireproof.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
That's not on my list.
I've seen Fireproof probably 15 times.
I'm pretty sure we watched
some
it at
reason.
Ripley.
Did we?
Yeah. We were sitting in the back row.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because high schoolers watching Fireproof.
right.
You were actually probably in middle school at that time.
Yeah. But like in like early high school, middle school, I watched that movie probably 15 times because I didn't have cable or anything. So I'd come home and be bored.
Stuck with Fireproof.
Yeah. I got Fireproof on DVD. Might as well watch that. Kirk Cameron with an outstanding performance.
I want out.
It's hot. Fun fact about Fireproof. Oh, there's that siren again.
It goes off so randomly at 12 o'clock. Doesn't matter the day.
At least it's consistently inconsistent. But fun fact about Fireproof. Kirk Cameron, in that movie, he's married to a person, right? And at the end of the movie, like, they have turmoil throughout the movie with their marriage. At the end of the movie, they kiss. But what you see is a silhouette shot, so you don't actually see them. You just see their silhouettes. And they swapped out the actress with his wife because he would not kiss anybody other than his wife, even for acting. So, way to go, Kirk Cameron.
I mean, like, it would be hard for me to do that, but if I was an actor,
if I was an actor, I could do it.
Profession,
for sure. Yeah,
like, you're portraying someone else.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's for the arts, man.
You can do anything for the arts.
Yeah. What was I saying though before then?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the people that made Facing the Giants, Fireproof, all that stuff. Sorry, I have a cold, so I have a lot of
phlegm,
post-nasal drip. Hacking stuff up. Their first movie was Flywheel. And it was about a used car salesman who refused to be bad.
I forgot about that.
And shady, right? He was just like a good, godly man, but like his business was failing and he was about to lose his house. And he had this car that was like a rarer sort of car and it needed a flywheel and he couldn't find like the exact flywheel. And that's where the title came from, roll credits. But in that movie, every time somebody prays, like a miracle happens. Like about that prayer every single time. And it starts small and just builds up.
Yeah.
But every time somebody prays, there is like a theme music that goes along with the prayer. Like it's the same music every time somebody's praying. And the beat is. So we watched it at my old school, Kingsway, in high school. And from, I think like a month afterwards, anytime somebody prayed, like me and another group of dudes. So if we'd see somebody like in the cafeteria, like praying over their food, we could be across the cafeteria and you just hear boom, boom.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, mine have to watch it once a week, Facing the Giants. Loophole movie, though, Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Solid movie, even though it's super long.
Or apparently the new Ben-Hur is pretty good.
Is it?
That's what I heard. Produced by, the dude who produced Survivor and a ton of other stuff. He's a Christian guy. Mark something. Anyway.
Mark Hamill?
No, not Luke Skywalker.
Oh. Bummer.
But so yeah, we could probably wrap it up now.
You said you had one thing though.
I did, but
go for it.
It was just I was gonna go into the qualm of the week.
Oh, let's do it.
But this whole time I couldn't think of a qualm of the week that I can talk about.
Oh, okay. I don't really have a qualm either, so
yeah. So we'll just think about
Christian movies is my qualm.
Yeah,
qualm of the week: Christian movies.
Fair.
Be better, or just don't be at all.
So we appreciate you hanging out with us in your ear holes.
Yeah. You're probably working out as you listen to this.
Yeah.
I just put on chapstick. You want some?
I'm good.
Okay.
If you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, you can find us on Twitter at My Friend Podcast.
That's right, you can. And if you want to talk to us directly, talk to a You're My Friend, I Trust You representative, you can find us at our email at itrustyoupodcast@gmail.com. We promise we'll email you back because we're desperate for content. We'll probably talk about it on the podcast as well.
You can find us on Back Row Radio, on the Back Row Radio app. You can find that in your app store. We're on there on Fridays, but they have great content throughout the week, other podcasts, great music.
Oh, yeah.
So check that out. You can download this podcast on iTunes, wherever podcasts are listed. Podbean, podcast app, Spotify, YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Yeah.
Whatever the podcast app that Carol uses.
I don't know. Basically anywhere.
Anywhere.
We're everywhere. We're hard to miss.
Put us in the Google machine, and you will
Yeah.
hear our sweet, savory voices.
Well,
We should have done this earlier in the morning, and we could add like
super.
way deeper voices.
There's an audiobook that I'm doing that I only record like right when I wake up. So that way my voice is deeper.
Yeah.
I want to start getting into horror stuff.
There you go.
We should probably just wrap this up. I'm sorry.
So
Sorry, guys.
we hope you have a fantastic day, night, wherever you're at.
Also, really quick, look up on GoFundMe.
Yeah.
You Are My Friend and I Trust You 5K for Compassion. We're trying to raise money for a charity. If we raise $500, then we will run in a 5K. Well, this has been going on forever.
Which is, if you know us, a death sentence for us.
We've been trying to raise money forever, and we've only had $75 raised. So either all of you need to buck up, throw in a couple bucks, or one of you needs to make a generous donation. So I put it to you.
Please.
Call yourself Christians. Let's see it.
Faith without works is dead, people.
I'm going to be judged for things that I've said on this podcast.
Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.